I was very lucky just recently. I had some success in a gun auction over here in the UK. I bid on 4 lots and I actually managed to win 3 of them. And this is one of the rifles that I was lucky enough to win. This is a Crosman 7.66 multi-pump pneumatic air rifle, 177 caliber. It will shoot pellets and BBs. And we'll have a nice close look at it. I haven't done anything to it. This is exactly how it arrived from the auction. Now the stock is plastic, as is the case on quite a lot of these Crosmans. The receiver body is metal. I'll close in and have a look at that. There we go. The pump handle is plastic. And there you go. It's got iron sights on it. It has a blade front sight, and it has the standard bent metal front sight, for want of a better word. While we're on this side of the rifle, this is the cocking lever. You pull that back, and it uncovers the breech, and that's where you can manually load pellets through there. And we'll flip it over onto the other side, and I'll show you the magazine where it holds the BBs. Now on this side of the rifle there is this slot here, which has got a little tiny lever at this end, which is on a spring. You push it up that end, put it into the slot like that, and then you load your BBs in from the other side and they fill this magazine up. And when you've got the magazine filled up, you release the spring, and obviously it then puts the BBs under spring tension and feeds them into the breech. It has a rifled barrel, so I'm not going to be shooting BBs out of it. I shall just be putting single shot pellets into this. The trigger has a cross bolt safety, and that locks the trigger when it's in the safe position. Now, as I said, I haven't done anything to this. It really does need a good clean and wipe over. It's not in bad condition at all. The plastics are particularly good. There's some scratches to this is the aluminium castings for the receiver. This is painted. There's some scratches to those, but I think the worst thing is the barrel. There's some mild surface rust on the barrel, so I shall attack that with some fine steel wool and some oil, and we should be able to take that surface rust off. But there's a kind of strange issue, really, and I'll explain what that is. So the operational process: you pull the breech back, and put your pellet in, close the breech, and then you're ready to pump. That's 8 pumps, but we can go up to 10. And there you go. Nothing. Now, the interesting thing about this is that sometimes it will allow you to pump up and it will fire. Try it again. Now, it fired that time, but it's obviously very weak. So it's either not pumping or it's not holding air. Now, fortunately, seal kits are still available for these, and I've managed to acquire one from Bagnall and Kirkwood over here in the UK. And the first thing we're going to do is change the cup seal. Now, this is the bit that's on the end of the pumping piston, because it may be that it's simply not pumping properly. So we'll change that. That's fairly simple to do. We'll change that, and I'll show you what's involved with changing that. Okay, so the first job is to remove this screw here. And this should allow us to remove the plastic cover, which is over the end. Now, some of the early 7.66s had a nut on the other side, but this is threaded directly into the there we go, through the shroud and into this. So this should also allow us to take this plastic cover off, okay? And the next thing we have to do is to remove this roll pin. So I'm gonna flip it over, put some wood underneath it and tap it out. I think we're nearly there. There we go. That's got it, almost. Yeah, we're nearly there. And there's our roll pin. Right, now what this should allow us to do is literally pull the entire pump mechanism out of the tube. So this should now come out. There we go. So there's the cup seal on the end. You see that? And that literally just pulls off, and I have to push the new one on, which I've got kicking around here somewhere. Yeah, so there's the new cup seal there. There's a couple of O-rings which, if I need to, go inside the valve assembly inside here, inside the actual receiver. But for now, this just pulls off and I push the new one on and we put it back together. Well, I've got the new cup seal fitted, and to my eye it does look fractionally larger in diameter than the old one, and the old one has got very shiny obviously over the years, and as you can see this is a lot duller. So we'll put a little bit of silicone oil on that and we'll put it back together and keep our fingers crossed. Right, it's all back together. New cup seal. While I had the pump handle off, I took the opportunity to, I took the rear sight off and I used that opportunity to clean the barrel up, because the barrel had some surface rust on it. We'll have a close look at that now. Now that barrel was rusty before, a little bit of surface rust, and I used a trick that I learnt from a gunsmith. Very, very simple. You don't want to, the barrel on this gun is blued, and you don't want to damage the bluing at all. So if you use some very fine wire wool and some oil, and make sure that you've got a lot of oil on there, and then just rub it with the wire wool lightly, and it will take the rust off. It's very good at doing that, but it will leave the bluing alone. So yeah, and it's come up like new. I mean, it's still, there's a little tiny bit of pitting still on it, but the actual rust has gone. So yeah, that was well worth doing. So the question is, did we do any good? Now, I honestly have not tried to pump this since I changed the cup seal. This will be the first attempt to pumping it, so we'll load it. Always anticipate good things. And we'll see whether it pumps. No. Well, it was worth a try, but that's a lot easier to do that than it is to actually take the receiver apart. But that's obviously going to be the next stage of our investigations. We'll get one more try, but I thought that was going to be too good to be true. It was a too easy a fix. No. So it's obviously got to come apart then, and we're going to have the receiver apart.